Why do cements need to evolve?
Well, the cement industry wants to get to net zero carbon emissions by the year 2050, but that's going to require a lot of change. See, by 2050, there's going to be 2.5 billion more people living on the planet, and most of them are going to be living in cities. So we'll need a lot more cement and concrete to build all those homes. But it's really challenging to innovate in the cement industry and bring new materials in. So what do you think would happen if we did nothing?
Doubtful of humans.
I hope not.
So what are we going to do about it?
Well, this whole project is about innovating in the cement and concrete industry. We're going to ask questions and find out what the barriers are, and then we're going to look to natural evolution to figure out if there's ways to innovate better. What's biomimicry?
It's when people replicate something in nature.
You mean emulate?
No, replicate.
Well, emulate is a little bit more deeper, like the behavior of the nature, not just the form.
Oh.
Yeah, and nature uses this set of life's principles like evolve to survive to create conditions that are conducive to life.
Wow, that sounds very sustainable.
Nature is only sustainable.
Oh. How does nature innovate?
Well, it doesn't. Nature evolves. Do you know how the two are different?
No.
Well, evolution relies on natural selection and innovation relies on people to think about what would be the most fit. And so evolution solves for the needs of the ecosystem and innovation solves for the needs of people. So nature experiments a lot more in evolution than we do in innovation, but there's also going to be a lot more failures. For innovation, we try to decide ahead of time which experiments are going to be the most successful. So which do you think is better?
I don't know.
Well, innovation has a lower failure rate, around 40%, and evolution is probably 80 to 95%. So innovation is more efficient, but evolution tends to be more effective.
What's a trade-off?
Trade-offs are the way that nature realizes the limits to its own growth. It's like when you go to the store and you only have $1 and you want gummy bears, which are 54 cents, and you want chocolate, which is 60 cents. You're now over $1 by 14 cents. So what nature would do is they would only get 50 cents of gummy bears and 50 cents of chocolate, or maybe more or less, but it would still stay within that $1. That's why you don't see a lot of slow animals with loud colors unless they have another way to defend themselves. In evolution, nature is always making trade-offs.
Like heavy, but armored, and light, but fast.
That's right.
So what's the trade-off in innovation?
Exploration and exploitation. People like to create new things, but we also have to improve the things that we have. Both evolution and innovation learn from the past. So what was successful before becomes the template for the future, but there's usually little changes from generation to generation.
Like the video games that you played are different from the video games that I play. Is that a dragon?
It is. And evolution explains why we don't have dragons that have wings sprouting out of their backs.
But dinosaurs had wings.
Some did, and when they did, they evolved from their forelimbs.
So then where did dragonflies get their wings?
Well, it turns out that they came from the forelimbs of their ancient crustacean ancestors.
Crustacean?
Yeah, like a shrimp.
So dragonflies came from shrimp?
Well, more like shrimp and dragonflies both came from a common ancestor.
You mean a dinosaur?
Probably more like an ancient sea bug. In fact, the 4 times that life has evolved flight on planet Earth, each time it came from an arm that changed into a wing.
So if we did have dragons, their wings would be like their arms, not sprouting out their back.
That's right.
Wait, what do dragons have to do with cement and concrete?
I guess the point is that cements and concrete have been around for a really long time. I mean, we've been using them for thousands of years.
Thousands? I thought that we were only using them for hundreds.
The dome of the Pantheon from ancient Rome is almost 1900 years old. Even nature uses cement.
It does?
Yeah, the Great Barrier Reef is built by coral and it's 8,000 years old. And then the White Cliffs of Dover were from the biomineralization of these tiny little algae, and that's from like 100 million years ago.
Wow.
The process for making the cement we use today is really only about 200 years old. And you have to take limestone and heat it up really hot, which takes a lot of energy and it releases a lot of carbon dioxide.
So that's why it's bad?
Well, it's not that it's bad, it's just that it's efficient, kind of, for industry.
So how does cement evolve?
The industry knows that they need to reduce their carbon footprint, and that's what they mean when they say they want to get to net zero by 2050. And the best way to do that is through the use of green cement technologies, ones that take less energy to produce or release less carbon dioxide, and make use of recycled materials so we have to use less cement to begin with. So what can dragons and dragonflies teach us about how to evolve cements?
That we have to use what we have to evolve it, like the dragonfly wings.
But it takes time.
Yes, and it takes time.
Is 2050 enough time?
Maybe if we start today.
And if we don't?
Then we're going to be trying to sprout wings out of our back. Just like pop! Pop!
That would be kind of hard to get the changes that we need, huh?
Yes.